Let's move to the next chapter in Lesen. Leseabsichten und Lesestile. Leseabsicht, it's the reason why a person has to read. The very reason why a person finds himself to read something is called as Leseabsicht. Lesestil, these are basically reading styles depending upon what the reader wants to find out. Leseziel, it's basically the information the reader wants to have at the end of the reading session. So depending upon the Lesestil, you can have different Leseabsicht, or depending upon the Leseabsicht, you can have different Lesestil, and this Lesestil can be categorized into the following categories. First one is basically suchendes Lesen. So the main reason or the Leseabsicht here is searching for particular information. So for example, Fahrplan, train station. You just don't go in details, you just find out which train you want to board and you find out the information. Then you have detailliertes Lesen. You want to have all the information in the application form. So you read every detail carefully, point by point, and that particular reading style is called as detailliertes Lesen. Like we said, application form, Vertrag, Formular. Then we have globales Lesen or kursorisch Lesen. This is a random reading. So you just read the topic or you just read the headlines. You make sure if you're interested in the topic or not, and then you choose to read further or you don't read it anymore. And you just pick up the key information. Newspaper. Then you have sortierendes Lesen or orientierendes, meaning directional reading. You would like to have the structure of the Lesetext. That's the key. So this will be Kochrezept, Einkaufsliste, etc. This particular example in the book basically shows how human eyes move when you're reading with different reading styles. So this is basically a pictorial way to remember the Lesestil and then basically bring it back during the exam. So in case of a detailliertes Lesen, your eyes move line by line. In case of a globales Lesen, the eyes start at the corner, then go at the bottom, then to the sides, etc. So in case of a sortierendes Lesen, you just go top down or bottom up. Suchendes Lesen, you just read particular points. So 1 point here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. You can have another way of globales Lesen as well, so which will go zigzag. So based on your eye movements, which we know from learning our own text, we still can remember the reading styles. Then we have Leseprozess. So what is a reading process? What exactly happens during reading? This is what is being described in this subtopic. So reading is an interactive and a constructive process. Lesen ist ein fortlaufender Process. It goes continuously, and the main point of this continuous process is continuous meaning construction. So the meaning construction takes place how? That's what is explained here. Dass die sprachlichen Daten fortlaufend mit den in mentalen Lexikon gespeicherten Bedeutungen und Bedeutungsschemata abgeglichen werden und umgekehrt. Meaning, all this language-based material which are saved in our mind and the language format in which we have encountered text, they'll be compared against this new text, and based on that the meaning of the text will be constructed. So this can have a lot of factors, like you can see your previous learning experience or reading experience in another language, or how you have actually monopolized the strategy for reading German, etc. So it's not like one single process, it's like a more connected process. So what are sprachlichen Daten? They are basically the elemental aspects of the language. So Buchstaben, Wörter, word groups, sentences, Grammatik, text order. So reading is very closely connected to the individual Buchstaben, also spelling, and it is a datengeleitete Verarbeitung. It's basically data driven. So you need something to read, you need a text, so that's basically data. And that's what reading process is all about. And ist eine bildliche aufsteigende Verarbeitung. Text will zum Verstehen. What your mind does basically captures the essence of all you have read in one picture, one mental picture, so that it can recollect whatever it has learned from that mental picture which it has built. So continuing further with the laser process. So what happens during the Bedeutungskonstruktion? So, or the meaning construction. So the people or the students, they bring stuff from their Lebenskontext, from the real life situation, their experience so far with people and things, their knowledge from their mother tongue or other languages like English or Hindi or Tamil, persönlichen Befindlichkeiten and Emotionen, their personal aspects, interests and emotions, and what they know about German. So the German languageal elements which we spoke in the last slide. Beim Lesen, so of course the standard process is you couple the known with the new ones or the unknowns. It's a top-down process, meaning you use the worldly knowledge which you have before, and then you try to connect it with what you're learning in the new language. And of course it is always oriented towards structure, schema geleitet. So you also have a top-down approach, what you capture, bottom-up approach, what you read, etc. So aufsteigende Verarbeitung, so which means you start slowly, so liest langsam, and then stockt beim unbekannten Wörter. So when you don't know any particular word, you're basically stopped there, and you or the students or the readers basically tend to overlook the important element. So that's why it's called as a bottom-up process, where you start slow and then you start concentrating on the aspects of the text. So for getting a good idea of reading things, you have to basically combine the top-down process and the bottom-up process. So these are different styles which you have in the Bedeutungskonstruktion. For us to identify the correct meaning, we have to combine these two together. So, continuing with the common complaints. So, what are the difficulties during reading text in a different language, despite having the same worldly knowledge? So, on the left you have the gute Muttersprachliche Leser, and on the right you have the Fremdsprachliche Leser. So, Schriftbild, meaning the font. So the font is known. Now on a Fremdsprachliche Leser, for instance Chinese, Japanese, it is very difficult and it takes time for you to take it up. So Wörter, Wendungen, Bedeutungen, how the words are used in your language, you know it because it's your mother tongue. You take some time to actually identify how the word is used in those languages. Leserfluss und Bedeutungskonstruktion. So the mind in the mother tongue does it subconsciously. It doesn't think, it just happens because you have learnt it ever since you were a kid. Whereas in this case, it's like stocken. It stops whenever you find any unknown words or unknown sentences. So that way, it's not a continuous process. Grammar is not at all a problem. You will be having grammatic problems in the new language. How about the text? The text comes from experience and life context. This also comes from there, but in the context of the German language. So what happens to the reader on a mother tongue? So his reading interest is very, very strong, whereas in case of a foreign language, it's not that strong. It might tend to go down. What are his learning goals or reading goals? It's basically his personal interest, whereas in this case, oh no, I have to do a A1 class German or a A2 class German. That's a specific target which has been fixed by the course program. So that way it's fremdbestimmt. Then you have Leseaufgaben. Do you have to do anything after reading? Not really. It's just a leisure reading. Whereas in this case, you have homeworks, tasks that need to be done. Lesestile and Lesestrategie, we don't actually keep track of those things. That happen subconsciously, like I said before. Whereas in these cases, you must have a particular strategy to approach the language text because it's new. Leseverstehen, nobody's going to judge you after you have read something. Here, you will be judged among other students as well. So, a Muttersprachliche Leser finds it, Lesen is not at all a problem. Whereas in this case, oh man, it's too tiring. And yeah, that's how it is in case of a Fremdsprachliche Leser.
With that, the chapter comes to an end. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment to the channel. If you have any questions, then contact me via email or put down your comments and I'll be able to reply. Thank you.